It's Kimberly with StampinByTheSea.com. Welcome to another week with Kimberly and Heather and My Digital Studio Challenges. And this week we're going to go back to really some basic items. And I've been hearing a lot of questions about photo boxes versus punches. So, and why would you use or which one to use? And so let me talk about that a little bit. I actually love photo boxes because it gives me a little bit more options, especially when I'm layering with the designer series papers. So let me show you. For instance, if I'm going to throw another layer of designer series paper onto this layout, I would do a photo box. I can come over here to my papers, and let's go back to the one I've been using, which is Because I Love You. Oh, this paper is darling. And let me just throw this paper on. Now, from here, you obviously have the options of increasing, decreasing. You can actually move this around. You can do this also with punches. You can also move the direction. I'm going to change that back, and let me do that, and I can hit OK. Now from here, if I right click, I've got quite a few options. I can round the corners, and remember, when you round the corners you can click off or add. I can do just one. I could really increase that and make it crazy big, or I could make it really small. You have great options here. I can hit OK on that. I can right click, and I can also rip my photo. Now, here is the really fun thing. You can do any side you want, but here's even better. You can continue to click, and every time you click, it gives you a new option. You also have the rip width. So if you just didn't want it, too crazy, you could decrease it or you could increase it. We can hit OK. Now, the big one too is recoloring. This is actually one of my favorites. I can recolor this designer series paper to any color I desire. Now just remember, when you're working with a pattern like this, it's going to be more of a monochromatic color scheme. Okay, and let me hit OK, and it's going to apply that color. Now with a photo box, the difference is, with a punch, the difference is, let's come down here. Let's do a square. When you're filling with paper, you're going to come down here to the paper fill. And it's going to give you your options here. Okay, I can hit OK. I could also do a photo fill. This is where the punches come in kind of handy. I can go to my desktop. Let me go to my pictures, and I can hit that and put my kids' cute faces in. I could zoom out. I could move that around and hit OK. Now I could also do that with any kind of punch. Now where your difference is you don't have that recolor tool. Okay, you can change the shape, you can resize it, you can reset it, you can remove it, you can change the opacity just like you can on your photo fill, but you don't have the rip photo effect. You don't have the rounding corners. Now you could use a square punch with rounded corners, but that's really the biggest difference. You can still matte, you can still use the drop shadow, you can also mirror. This is a great tool. And you can also do this with your photos. So that's really the big difference, and why I choose, especially when layering with papers, to do more of a photo. All right, let me get rid of this, and I also want to show you a fun little design trick. So I have this small little pennant here, and I wanted a piece of baker's twine to be used down here. So let me show you how I did that. I actually came over here to my embellishments. I actually put in baker's twine in my global search tool to see what I could come up with. We'll give that a second. I know I don't have too many, but we'll see which ones come up. Well, no, none did. That's crazy. I know I have baker's twine. Let's just come up here. All right, so what I used was, you can see on this one, this twine lays a little bit different than this one. I wanted this one. And I'll show you why. Let's make this big. And I'm going to bring it down here so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to recolor it. And I recolored it a brown, and I hit OK. Now, what I loved was this piece right here. So I'm just going to come over here to crop, and I'm going to crop that out. Bring this down a little bit, just to right there. Now I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see, if I turn this a little bit, there's my, well, maybe not that much. There's what I used to put my banner on. And I just increased the size to make it nice and big so you could see it. And then just laid my little pennant triangles right on there. So that's just a little design tip. You can always do a lot of crazy things inside My Digital Studio. You just got to get in there and dig. I hope you enjoyed this week's basic skill, and I can't wait to see you do what you do best on our Facebook challenge board. Have a great week.